enjoy the beers. Boom, there we are, and we're in. Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you with some live beer reviews from in front of the cans and bowls here on the bar, or I'm still madly calling the Disco Arms. Yes, took a while, once again, late, sorry about that. Technology, I say technology, couldn't find a webcam, couldn't find a microphone. That's because I left them in the bag. Because I was going to take them up the brewery at the weekend and do a little bit of live streaming there, but that didn't happen. Well, basically, I bowled out yesterday of doing the quiz live because it was madness, very busy. Anyway, so yeah, fairly busy live stream tonight. Got not particularly, I've called it Mad Fruit Monday just because of like the alliteration, but yeah, got 3 beers with some kind of fruits. I don't know if they're fruits in them or they're just fruitish flavoured. We shall see as that comes round. Got some general stuff, not massive plan for this one. We'll just see what happens. Mr. Wilson, good evening. Thanks for popping in. And was good to see you at the weekend, of course. Hope you got back okay. I'm guessing because you're there and all that, etc. It was good to have a few beers and a good yarn. And all the other good stuff. Let's get straight onto the beer for here, because I do like to get the beer in early, save me just waffling away. So that's what we're here for in the first place. So let's dive straight into beer number 1, please. And as you may have seen from the thumbnail, beer number 1 is an odd little package, a little collection of words. It's Heathen from Northern Monk, their regular kind of pale ale series. But this one says Dark Fruits IPA. Sorry, regular IPA rather than pale ale. So yeah, I'm interested in this one to see the colour. Not to mention the taste. Obviously, very much suggests something along the lines of Dark Fruits Strongbow or something like that. I'm against Strongbow particularly, especially the Dark Fruits version. I do sub if there's very little else on. But in a beer and an IPA as well. I've messed about on the pour. It's quite spritzy on the pour and not a great amount of head development. It's there. Whether it sticks around or not is another matter. Let's go straight into the photo before that head disappears. Not that I want to convey that it's something it's not, but you want it looking as best as possible, and then I can always tear it to pieces later in the write-up. Didn't manage to get the write-ups away today on the Instagram. I'm still behind. I still need to do last Sunday's show. I briefly thought about doing a show last night, but that didn't happen either. I'm in the wrong mode. I'm on Instagram. I don't need it there yet. That head is dissipating. Yeah, far too quick. It looks a bit dull and lackluster, that already. Obviously, shouldn't judge, but there you go. I always do. That's what we're here for. We're here to review the beers and have a little chat as well. Everything is working slowly today. Why is everything working slowly? Is it just me? Does technology hate me today? Yes, it does. Not really going well so far, is it? Don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there. So I said yesterday when the printer wasn't working for the quiz sheets. I had a little panic, but we got there in the end. It's not getting a good focus on that, but yeah, it's got there. We've got there. Right, finally. Okay, so it looks kind of weirdly orange on the screen, but it's kind of reddish hue on the background. I'm not holding out much hope for this. It is a supermarket purchase. I've got another supermarket shelf turd for you. Yes, it is. Yeah, superb. Enjoying the Paravel beers up at the brewery. Thanks for popping along. I'm all over the place. Right, so yeah. Banners, come on. Get it together, Disco. Right, so Northern Monk, Dark Heathen, 7.2% dark fruit IPA. So going large and working a bit further down with the next two. I'm not getting masses of fruit already. It does smell good. I mean, it smells fruity. Can't pick out anything particular. I was suggesting a blackberry, but there's also a weird earthiness I'm not too keen on. A little bit of vegetal as well. That always worries me. Yeah, not too bad, maybe. We'll see what's in that. I've got this horrible feeling it's going to be flavourings again, isn't it? Rather than actual fruit. Let's not prejudge. Yeah, well, I hope everybody had a great weekend. Enjoyed a few beers. And if you've got a beer on a Monday evening, like I have, because I'm off tomorrow, do let me know what you're drinking if you are. If you're not, don't worry about it. Cheers and enjoy the beers. Okay. That's a confusing bunch of something and nothing. It feels like the body initially feels like some kind of not quite like some kind of popsicle, not quite sorbet, very definitely not sorbet. It's a bit like the outer edge you get on a Solero, but not quite sorbet as that. There's a little bit of spring water around the edge, and I think it's blackcurrant rather than blackberry. And I always find blackcurrant really difficult to deal with. Very hit and miss. Much prefer blackberry. I think there's a bit of both in there somewhere. Again, my first thoughts are, do you know what it feels like it's trying to be? It feels like it's trying to be Vault City. Because it feels like there's a bit of kind of a little bit of lactosiness in there to get it towards ice lolly. And it hasn't quite worked that well. I was a bit worried when, like, obviously, I don't rush out and buy Heathen that much. I'm sure I've had one along the day, but it feels like I thought it was going to be a bit kind of fruit on one end and a bit citrusy grapefruit on the other. Fortunately, there isn't any of that grapefruit, but there isn't anything much else either to denote that it's an IPA. That's why I'm giving it the Vault City vibes, because it's a sort of nowhere near a Vault City, but it feels like it's sort of going towards that kind of, because it's got that kind of tartness on the blackberry without being a full sour beer and a full sour IPA. So I'm getting that kind of. It's not even quite even strawberry mivvy if there was a blackberry or blackcurrant version. It's more one of those free stick popsicle things that ends up being a bit water at the end of it, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Mr. Wilson's got a siren beer on. Follow me to the field. A brown ale. Fair play. Siren, as I said before, one I must get back round to at some point. I've got one in there actually. I did briefly consider it, but it was a sour. And I'm like, yeah, I looked at these three beers and thought, yeah, that's going to sit better. Got a couple of sour. I could do a whole sour stream, and I'm not sure I want to do that on a Monday. And then I drank this, which is sort of tart, sour. There's a bit of earthiness in there. That's kind of the IPA, I think. It's not unpleasant by any means. It's just odd. I've had it in the fridge all day, so it's fairly cold. It's just a little odd, to be honest. I'm not sure about it. It's in supermarkets. I can't remember which one I picked it up from. It was either Tesco's or Morrison's. I've been to a lot of supermarkets this month, more than I reasonably would enjoy normally. So I tend to forget which one's which after a while. And I don't tend to put, like, I stopped buying loads from the supermarket, so I don't do like Sainsbury's beer hall, or Morrison's beer hall. I don't mind if people do. I'm not having a dig. That's fine. I just will pick one or two up now and again. It's not really worth a post unless I do like an unboxing video or something. So I tend to forget where I've got this from. It was definitely off a supermarket shelf because obviously Heathen's in supermarkets as well. It just sort of caught my eye and I thought, it's going to be some kind of, I don't know, it says dark fruit IPA, so I'm thinking Strongbow dark fruits, and it is kind of there or thereabouts. I would probably rather have a Strongbow dark fruits than this generally, because you know where you are with that. This one, yeah, a little bit mixed of styles. I'm not against like dark fruits in a beer. Sours, obviously, I've done a few, but yeah, this is sort of like neither one nor the other. It's a bit of it's not even an IPA. It doesn't feel massively 7.2. It's got that kind of slight spring watery edge. I don't know. Someone you pick up the odds from. Well, I like an odd beer. I like a very odd beer, but you don't seem to see too many odd beers in supermarkets. This I thought was a little odd. I was a bit worried, like I say, about where it would go, so I thought I'd try it. It was kind of interesting. A little bit more jammy sweetness coming on now. A little bit blackcurrant jam going on there, which makes it better. Nah, there's no real... For 7.2, there's no real ABV hit on that, which is A, dangerous, and B, I don't mind that if it doesn't feel like the ABV. If it were more palatable and easy drinking, I mean, it's I suppose it is easy drinking because I don't know. My first issue is I can just get through. I can power through that. I'm not going to particularly enjoy it. It has got an interesting body with that kind of like almost sorbet, almost somewhere near sorbet, ice lolly kind of thing. Initially, a little bit of spring water around the edges. This jam coming through later. So it is reasonably palatable. I don't like sour IPAs. I've said that before. They are few and far between, thankfully. But, occasionally you want to try something different so people will cross styles and see if they can mix sours and ABVs. And I'm generally not a fan. If this is a sour IPA, it's probably better for me because there's no like grapefruit or it's not even any citrus on it. That's where they end up going with sour IPAs, I think. But yeah, so no grapefruit, which is good. I'm not even getting a like imperial kind of barrel aged note. There's not even a spirity note to it. There's like I said about the one the other day, it was like vodka and grapefruit juice. And this, hasn't got that kind of vodka-y kick. Particularly for me, I think it's kind of there if you search for it. But yeah, I mean, 10 minutes in and I'm halfway down the glass, so it's not terrible by any means. I've been going for 20 minutes. Anyway, yeah, it's all right. It's not amazing. It's definitely that dark fruit note of like blackcurrant and blackberry. Maybe let's have a look, see what we've got. I don't know, that kind of slight vodka-y, but it's more ethanol than vodka. Slightly on the back edges, maybe. Right, what did Northern Monk say? Unholy fruits. Taking a heathen and turning it to the darker side using blackcurrants and blackberries. Okay, so I got that right. I haven't looked. Blackcurrants and blackberries. They are kind of there. So that's hit the mark. So it's fair enough. So ingredients. Okay, to be fair, right. So that's where it goes towards that kind of ice lolly bit. There's a bit of oats in there that's got that kind of not quite lactosey, but slightly smooth outers before slight spring wateriness. It says black currants and blackberries. So we're not going fruit flavour on this one. We are going full on fruit flavour, not fruit flavourings. Refrigerate below 5 degrees. Couldn't tell you. I haven't had it that long. I only picked it up recently, I think. Again, because I can't remember where. I can't remember when. Best before of 16th of August 2025. So we're all good. In fact, I think all the beers tonight probably will be. Howdy, Simo. Hope you had a good weekend. I caught some of it on Saturday night and then drifted off fairly early. Was it Sunday? Can't remember. That's how busy the weekend's been. You're not drinking too much in the week, but if you have got a beer on, cheers. Have a good one. Let's say cheers and enjoy the beers. I'm trying to do that as a tagline, but yeah, no, cheers. Yeah, so if you see this in the supermarket, I would say be aware. Just when the dog started chucking it down halfway around. Yeah, so we had a Saturday afternoon of it in the pissing rain at the weekend. Well, it was all right because I was, and in the lull in the weather, you dash to the bar, you get another beer. I was obviously drinking Mr. Wilson. He came over. So we had a good weekend. I was undercover, and just as I was about to go home, it downpoured again. Got a bit damp. Then it stopped. Managed to get home a bit damp, not completely soaked. It was it didn't really put a dampener on the weekend, to be fair. Sunday was really nice. Like I say, done the quiz up the brewery. Despite a temperamental printer, I managed to get that all sorted and everybody had a good time. So yeah, I hope everybody else had a good weekend. If you have got something else on, Dave Wilson's on a brown ale. Let us know what you. I'm going back to that. So it's not. What was the one the other day? Well, that stout was all right. It's better. It gets better. It gets better. It's kind of like I say, that kind of popsicle with that slight oaty creaminess in the background. It's not quite dessert. It's more it's not quite Solero smoothness or Solero sweetness. But if Solero, I'm sure they did a dark fruits version at some point. So it's got a bit of that in it. It's not terrible. It's all right if you like a bit of fruit in a beer. I don't mind, surprisingly, because I'm not, said before, I'm not out and out great with IPAs, lest they go a bit grapefruity. So it's all right. I'm going back to it. I'm drinking it quick enough. Again, it's going much more, not astringency, but that slight kind of bite after the event that you get with like Strongbow dark fruits. Strongbow dark fruits, of course, I don't know. I doubt that as much blinking blackberry or blackcurrant in it, to be fair. Not what they claim here, but there's that, slight tart, slight earthy bitterness back as well. So it's not unpleasant, but it's not amazing. They did a red berry Solero. Mustard, I mean, you got to do a raspberry and a strawberry one. So I immediately thought of red currants. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not quite Solero, but I'm suddenly, I don't know why. Why am I so bothered? No, let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a. Well, these things amuse me, so let's have a look. Solero flavors. There you go. Red berry. Spot on. You're not wrong. What was original in it? Because I've always imagined it to be mango. Hang on, I saw one earlier. Just now. Solero flavors list. Peach, passion fruit, mango, and pineapple. Oh, I'll go with that. Variations: exotic, red berries, and orange burst. Well, there you go. Always learning. That's a good one for the summer. I'll buy anything like that. I just buy the budget supermarket knockoff. Or the ice creams, yeah. Yeah, you'll find something in Aldi Little for that, won't you? Yeah, in the meantime, this is all right. It's gone down fair quick enough, to be honest. So, yeah, I wasn't gonna. I sort of like doing unboxing videos, so yeah, got given some beer. Mr. Wilson lugged a massive bag of stuff over across London. What a great bag! Oh no, let's not do the Poundland bit. But great bag. It's got my name all over it. Let's have a look. Oh crunch! There's a lot of beers in here. A lot of beers in here. He's very kind enough to bring over, along with the bag and some other bits and pieces as well. Cool, yeah. Right. So, let's go. First of all, we were talking about this on the stream last week, and he made good. He said he would, and he did. He brought me some Buxton beers. These Hop Heats CF377. Again, I'm not looking at what they are. 377, 340, 338, and 317. Yeah, so we had a good chat about those. So that will be a stream at some stage, I think. Four might be a test. And I did say, I said it on stream the other day. So me and Miss Wilson don't always agree on beer. But he said, give it a go. Might be quite surprised. So I will. Be a stream for next week. Just do the whole thing with the Hop Heats, I think. Not sure what I'm doing this week. Kind of things a bit changed a bit this week. So we shall see. But, I like a good tipple. So this one was good. Obviously from Mr. Wilson's local brewery, who, again, we slightly disagree on these days. But he maintains they've got some good beers. So that was a Gardener's Tipple. A 4% thirst-quenching English bitter. So we shall have a look at that at some point, possibly along the lines with some other English bitters. I had a good pint of our Beaver bitter at the weekend, so that'd be an interesting comparison, maybe. OTT is the next one. Now, I've seen this about Tongham Tasty, or Old Tongham Tasty. A festival of fun on your tongue. Well, I shall be the judge of that. Now, again, we sort of disagree slightly. I quite like Hogsback, or I used to love a pint of tea. Obviously, drinking pints in Wetherspoons mostly, but other pubs as well. Gone off them a little bit recently, mainly because there's so many other breweries doing stuff. I'll give it a go, as always. Like I say, very grateful for the gifts. This one's called Rip Snorter. Rich, ruby, and rambunctious. A 5% ruby ale. That is very much a bit of me. That is generally, as long as it comes out smooth and not too rough and ready, I'm all good. And then you got me a can from Hogsback as well. Hog IPA Aromatic Session India Pale Ale at 4.5%. So we'll have a look at that. And then just for fun, because we were talking about it last week and he'd already done it, a Cali Dandelion and Burdock. Because I was drinking it in beer form last week. And it pretty much is the same in a slightly different shade, to be fair, that Kirkstall one from last week. So really enjoyed that. That was a superb. I didn't take the sticker out of the back. He got me a great sticker with disco on as well. That's brilliant. And then, as if a little bit of snack foods to go with that. Got me some Disco's crisps. I didn't know they did prawn cocktail flavour. I've not had prawn cocktail flavour, so kind of looking forward to that one. And cheese and onion and salt and vinegar. salt and vinegar. So and a big grab bag as well. So yeah, massive thanks to Mr. Wilson for that. They will be some or all of them will be coming up on the channel, either lives or if I can get a video. I was working on a video today, but didn't manage to finish it, so we'll see what happens on that next week. So just for it in. Bought some beers to Manchester, superb. I believe those Buxton ones as well. I believe, if I'm right, if I remember rightly. Anyway, Henry 420. Good evening to you, sir. Thanks for popping in. Hope you had a good weekend and having a great week to start off with. And as always, because I always forget to say it, but Henry always reminds you to click the like and subscribe buttons down there. It's free of charge and really helps. Whereabouts is it? Have I got it right? It's about there somewhere, I think. I think most people in here have. But thanks for popping in, Henry. Hope you had a good weekend and a good start to the week. Paul and Michelle stream. They've been going for 4 hours. They closed it to come and say hello to me, probably. I doubt it, but big love. Yeah, I saw that briefly. I've been busy for the last 4 hours getting stuff done and also not getting stuff done. Sharks coming in late. Yeah, it's not late. No, I haven't drunk all of those beers. Yeah, you're popping in 8 beers on the and a pop. Yeah, no, still on the first beer. How am I still on the first beer and a half hour? I've been drinking this really quickly. I don't know what's going on. Where is the London Pride beer? Well, do you know what? I was watching you and Rob the other day. Yeah, that was what I was watching when I go from work, and I thought, I very nearly said I think I should do that. I did have an idea in my head. Do I do like a 5 beer stream of like my all-time hated beers, of which London Pride is one? So I don't know, but yeah, ideas are formulating. We shall see what happens with that, but it won't be soon anyway. Yeah, no, thanks a lot, Mr. Wilson. Cheers, and I'm glad you enjoyed my beers as well. They're not my beers. I just helped. I didn't make them. I just helped. Superb. Yeah, so that was my weekend. I was actually off the weekend. I was actually technically not working, but I did do a little bit of work as well. And it's got a heavy week coming up. We've got to get on to do some a lot of packaging and a lot of brewing. We've got some talking about festivals. Ealing Beer Festival coming up. I know Mr. Wilson said it'll be over. Let me know if you're thinking of being at Ealing. It's a good summer festival as long as the rain holds up. Paul, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend as well. Up at your farm, at your place, despite that deluge on a Saturday. Obviously, Paul's a bit more inside than I am, so we were just undercover, but not helpful for people being there or getting there if it's chucking it down with rain. So weather dependent, both places. But yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. I'm going to brush this down because it's all right. This dark fruits Heathen. I'm not raving about Heathen generally. Can't remember the last time I had Heathen. I know it's a regular IPA, but this is all right. It doesn't taste 7.2. It's very light, but it's got that kind of that sort of tartness of black currants that I don't like. Blackberries can be a little bit like that. Every now and again, you get a tart one amongst the sweetness. So it's all right. Like I say, it's got that kind of sort of oaty creaminess on the back end as well. It was a little bit spring water to start off with, and then it thickens up a little bit. Get a little bit of blackcurrant jam going on in the sweetness. So it's all right. It's interesting. It's not as bad as I worried. I thought it might be, and it's not as bad on the first sip. It gets better towards the end. Let's get it down the neck and move on. It's sort of beer to try just because it's something a little bit different among your IPAs. It takes it away from the citrus, which is, pretty good. But Moves on to tart and sour, which I'm not quite so cool with. Right then, let's move swiftly on. Yeah, Saturday was a bit stop-start. Yeah, stop-start. Yeah, it rained a bit. It rained heavily for a bit, then stopped down this way as well. Mr. B, good evening to you. Thanks for popping in. I was just saying about you on Shark Stream the other day on the old London Pride discussions. Some interesting discussions going on there. Something to work out in due course. What am I looking for? Yes, moving swiftly on to beer number 2, please. There we go. Just about made that one. Beer number 2. Staying in Yorkshire, moving across from Northern Monk, from Leeds, to York with a Brew York, a cherry Tonkoko. This is one that I cannot remember where I picked this one up from or how long it's been sitting there. But it sort of just jumped out at me for like the fruit kind of content on it. Haven't got enough to do a full cherry stream like I did Cherry Tuesday a while back. I don't think this was a supermarket one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, hang on, it might have been. Did I just bung it on a random Brew Trembling Madness order just for the hell of it? Because I looked at it and I've had a couple recently, so it could be. It wasn't the last one. It wasn't the one where I got the third beer. All right, so the third beer is definitely from Trembling Madness, right? So remember that when the third one comes up, because I've had a couple of different bottle shop brews beers in recently. Wasn't from left field. And after that, oh no, here we go. There it is. Where did that go? Oh, God's sake, I had it just now. Technology's mugging me off again. See on the left somewhere it's coming up. Just scrolled a bit further down. Oh, gosh. There it is. It was Trembling Madness. As far back as March, with a bunch of other beers I got in specifically. I just got a Pilsner. Got a lot of Bohemia region in recently, right? Anyway, yeah, so from Trembling Madness. Interesting selection tonight. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I just went with the fruit ones. These ones kind of stuck out at me. I just was looking at the fruit angle. Fancy something fruity and refreshing. And then I realised 2 of them are stout. So we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, cherry Tonkoko. Their base milk stout Tonkoko has kind of been around for a while. Fairly popular. This one's 5.5%. They do specifically say cherry, coconut, vanilla, and Tonka milk stout. Pours out fairly gloopy and thick into the glass. Nice head development. I'm going with the favoured bowl glass for stouts. I've gone a bit large. There's definitely a red tinge to that, but it's definitely very oily, gloopy kind of cocoa kind of note. Yeah, I started off with that dark fruits, and I'm like, well, I've got some other fruit stuff behind it, and it was either go sour, and maybe I should have gone full sour and then the fruit one. We'll see how much fruit is in some of these, to be fair. The first one did say fruit. It said blackberry and blackcurrant rather than fruit flavours. Yeah, it's quite it's very dark, but is anybody else seeing that kind of red tinge between the beer itself and the kind of head development? It's really, really interesting. The head is sticking around nice and thick. There's some big bubbles in it, but it looks quite kind of smooth. I still haven't done the lean. I can't do that now. I've done too much. Right. What a reminder. Right, thank you. Right, yeah, so I can't show you, but there's this really surprised there's a surprised ghost in the top of that head. There's definitely a sort of slight redness to the tinge on the top of that head development. This weird half light doesn't really help. Oh, that's gone now. Yeah, the head is dissipating as I take the photograph, which is not helpful, but we'll get there. Talk amongst yourself whilst I faff, as always, with the. It's telling me to move further away. Would help if I had a steady hand, wouldn't it? That'll do. Oh no, it won't do. It will not do because it's not steady. That'll do. That one will do. Ugh. Right, here we go. It's all in the glass now. So yeah, pretty thick and gloopy with kind of hints of red tinge on it. Just call it LP. Might crack open a Caribbean rum cask Scottish ale. I'll go for it if you want to do the root, yeah, the tripod. That's why I was late coming in today. Couldn't find the actual webcam. But that one will be good. The Caribbean rum cask, personally, is my favourite of those two. And I'm not against Innocent Gun, to be fair. Trying the dog. That's the euphemism. Right, let's have a little sniff and see what cherries we get on this then. Yeah. Merest hints of it. So I've just cleared the nose, but the main thing I think I was thinking about on this is not just cherry. Often I say that two flavors, I just never seem to get either aroma or flavors, a taste in beer. It's coconut and vanilla, and they very specifically say cherry, coconut, vanilla, and Tonka milk stout. Know about the Tonka, and I'm not sure about vanilla and coconut. Aren't going to be overpowered by the Tonka any more than the cherry, to be fair. So let's have a look. Still not much on the aroma. Cheers anyway. The head has disappeared. That's a bit difficult, that one. That's going to be a difficult right up. I don't know. I did palate cleanse as best I could, but do you remember last week's stream when I had that cherry mild? And I said it tasted like the cherries in my garden that were a bit earthy, bittery, kind of roughness. I don't want to say this, but that's what I'm getting here as well. It's sort of, yeah. There's a kind of bitter, tart cherryness going on, which I personally don't find that pleasant. The stout section of it is perfectly okay. If they left out the cherries, there's a nice bit of Tonka bean going on. There's a nice kind of roastiness. No idea whether vanilla or coconut is. Maybe that's that coconut husk thing I was talking about last week as well. Maybe that's what that kind of bitteriness is, but it's not out and out coconut. I can't taste any vanilla sweetness. There's a lot of kind of coffee and chocolate. Slightly lactosey milk sweetness, but it's kind of, yeah, it's cut across with that kind of earthy, bitter cherry note. Jamie, good afternoon, good evening, rather. I hope you had a good weekend and a good start to the week. Thanks for popping in. Let me know. Hope you got a beer on. If not, hope you had a good beer weekend. I so wanted to recommend this. I wanted it to be good. I've had a couple of good Tonkokos from Brew York. Well, I want to. I'd like to like coconut and vanilla. You know, probably. I think I'm probably always thinking of Bounty bars, but even beers that have emulated Bounty being chocolate and coconut, I just don't get it. Good on you. Done a Caribbean Rumcast review. Yeah. I haven't had that one for a long time, so I wonder what it's like now. But to me, that sounds like a good thing, to be fair. Busy day at work, so I stand on keg for the weekend. Oh, well, you can't have everything. You knew I was going to say that. I say it to Henry when he hears stuff like that. So, nah, it's cool, man. Whatever you want. It's cool. It's balanced. If it's balanced, I may like it. I really put too much. Yeah, I don't even get even out and out coconut beers. Even things like when you say about Sabro hops meant to have coconut, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Literally tastes like a steak. Yeah, I see the roastiness of that red. Roasted malt in a red ale goes towards stout. I say that one used to be train beers for me because I used to get it in supermarkets. And when I was traveling around the country, football wise, it was like an easy one to pick up because it was because it was darker and tastier, lots of flavors on it. So it's a good one. I'll check out what you think. I'll see the review when it comes up. A little bit more cherry juice in there now. But still that kind of earthy bitterness. The Tonka bean's doing all the work. Yeah, except for stout. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple of comments like this around. Paul, I've not enjoyed a Brew York beer for a while now. They're too busy opening bars. Yeah, I mean, depends what the brewers are doing. I mean, obviously they've got supermarket stuff, so they are certainly brewing to a price point. I see a lot of Brew York beers I want to drink. Haven't seen a really good name on a Brew York beer for a while. They've sort of feels like they've run out of puns a little bit, after Rhubarb Streisand had that last year. That was good. But yeah, my favourite thing about Brew York has always been the beer names, and I've always thought they were decent. But I've seen a lot of people who have had more Brew York beer than me. He says, having had one last week, didn't I? What did I have last week from Brew York? Did I have one alongside that vacation? So no, anyway, yeah. So I'm not sure about Brew York. I want to I still want to go there. A day out in York would be fabulous at some point. I don't think they've taken their eye off the ball as such. Obviously, like the owners, they've probably got production brewers in there now with the size. But the owners, they do YouTube lives every now and again. I haven't seen one for a while. I keep missing that because they're on a Friday night and I'm out on a Friday night now. Time traveling taxi and local spoons. See, that's what I'm talking about, brewing to a price point. But I don't think that's not brewing to a price point because that's just putting existing cans into spoons. So, I didn't rush for that one. Yeah, man, cheers, Henry. Have some good scran. I think with that beer. So, yeah, I'm struggling with this one. Not because it's not. There is a sort of balance to it because you've got that tartness of the cherry against the coffee. I'm a little bit unsure about fruit and coffee. Fruit and tea and fruit and beer I can see, but fruit and coffee, I'm not sure, except in beer sometimes. But this one is sort of, I don't know. Because there's that Tonka bean, like roasted coffee kind of note going on. There's a bit of chocolate in there, which kind of sort of makes the raft between the two extremes, sweet and sour, sweet and stout kind of stuff. It's getting better again. And as I always say about not judging a beer like from what you get to the top, sometimes the flavours mellow a little bit and you get more sweetness going on. There's quite a lot of stickiness. It did pour out really kind of oily, slightly gloopy. So there's a good edge. There's a good edge to that mouthfeel. That's kind of, I wouldn't say it's particularly smooth. There was a slight chocolate gatto kind of roughness going on. I say, I just don't like there is that kind of cherry stone kind of earthy bitterness going on. Very reminiscent of the cherries in my garden, which I never got around to picking today. And I don't think I don't know. I think if I put them in something with a shit ton of sugar, it might make a nice soda or something like that, but it's just going to be tart and bitter. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure I'll ever get around to doing that, actually, because they only last about a week on the tree. And if I don't do them today, I think I'm at work all week, so I'm not going to get a chance to do it, really. Yeah, there's a little bit of chocolate gatto in there, but it's not quite full. It's not quite full Black Forest gatto, really. I always thought Black Forest gatto was sweet cherries, but I'm told it was sour cherries, and I prefer sweet cherries. It's chocolate, really. I don't particularly enjoy that juxtaposition of sour and chocolate and coffee. It's just, it's making me wince a bit, and I'm like, it's all right, but it's not entirely me. So let's have a look. Let's have a look on the website. See if we can find a good Brew York beer to satisfy the amusements. Let's see if they got any new names out. I haven't looked on the Brew York website for a long, long time, to be honest. I like that chocolate gatto note in there. Is kind of keeps developing through a little bit, kind of bursting through the cherries, and then it sort of stops. And that bit of cherryness comes through. I'm going to see what they've got in a moment, rather than looking back. Moose savings, what? Free shipping over 50 quid, jolly good. They do a lot of Guilo because Guilo brew, I guess, at Brew York, I think. Or do they do it? Or is it Vocation or Northern Monk? I'm not sure. But a lot of stuff in Guilo. Which again, I'm not sure about. Oh, I saw. Whose review? Was that? Yeah, that was your review of that, wasn't it, Paul? Stereotypical hazy IPA, which with the pineapples on the front looked on the face of it like a good beer. But yes, that was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? Oh, where have I gone? I've lost it. There we go. Yeah, so which makes it a sort of collab of sorts. Bunch of pale ales. I'm still not seeing. What's that? Freya's Bounty. 9 Realms Ale Series is a limited edition collecting celebrating Brew York's 9-year journey, featuring unique beers inspired by Norse mythology. It's a Vocation collab. Still haven't told us what it is. A legendary session IPA. All that words, and it's a session IPA. Right, moving swiftly on. That's a good name. Sim Sit E. Simcoe and Citra. Moving swiftly on. Karma Chameleon was actually, I'd say, about session pale ales. I won a crate of that about 4 years ago. It's an American pale ale, but 4.1%. It was a bit of grapefruit in it, but it was quite palatable actually. What would Ripley do? Okay, so it is about Ripley is a badass alien killing space traveling cat cuddling lieutenant. What is it? Okay, 5.5% hoppy pale. Yeah, well, I quite like the name, but it's not a good pun particularly. They do a bunch of barrel aged stuff. Espresso Martini Tonkoko. Nice. Bruce Juice Forsyth is an absolute classic of their names and is difficult to beat apart from Rhubarb Streisand and Dame Judy Quench. My voice is that's what we talked. Dave also was talking about the time traveling taxi hazy IPA. It says they're hazy IPA and they're double dry hopped pale, which can be the same thing, but can also be two totally different things. Yeah, no. Oh, hello. I was about to say, not seeing a lot there that interests me, and then I see something with cinnamon in it. Cinnamon roll and coconut coconut and cinnamon roll imperial milk stout at 12%. That could be all right. But yeah, not seeing a lot there really. From Brew York at the current time anyway, that excites me. I saw this, like I say, at Trembling Madness. I thought I'd give it a go. It's all right, but it's not. It's just, yeah, I don't like that earthy cherry stone note. So I get through it. It's not awful. It's not a sink pour. I think perfectly good stout. It's not really like enough quite lactosey, milky sweetness for me. Sweetness is more the chocolatey malts going on. I wouldn't necessarily call it a milk stout. There is that little residual sweetness on the back end, I guess, but it's more kind of cherry jam going on. So yeah, not bad, but I'm not raving over it. It's weird though, 5.5%. Doesn't feel any less strong than that Heathen at 7.2, which is weird. But there you go. Yeah, so yeah, let me know what you think about Brew York. Don't really want to be dissing breweries and doing them down, to be fair, but it's a little unfair. But you call it as it is. If you haven't seen a good beer from them, or if you haven't tried, or if you've tried their beers and haven't had a good beer from them, yeah, call it as it is. Fair play. Yeah, I don't like this that much, so I'm going to crash through it because I'm really excited by the third beer. Oh, it was an Asda beer as well, yeah. But it's weird because I watched the review and when I saw it, I thought, "Oh, that looks interesting." When it went into the glass, and then like you just not all that on it. But that's the sort of review that would immediately make me go and pick it up just to see how bad. Not to see that you're wrong, just to see like how bad it is. However, having went to Asda last week, I didn't see it because my two local Asdas, despite one being quite a big one, are pretty. The beer section is literally that. Craft beer section anyway. And I want to find. I've got to go. I have no idea when I'm going to get time, but I want to go. I said it last week about the Turning Point Gravediggers biscuits, which is an 8.5% espresso martini stout. So I do want to go and pick that up. I might have to cycle a little bit further down the A40 over towards Park Royal and see if the bigger Asda's there have got it. And if I do, I might pick that Grillo one up and have a look just so I can say, just so you can say you told me so, really, Paul. But I'll never get time to review it quickly. Probably, I don't know. Another Mad Fruit Monday might fit in there with a pineapple, mightn't it? I've got some other pineapple beers left over actually. I'm going to wash this down because I haven't enjoyed it, but I haven't hated it. It's just don't like that cherry flavour. So bloody hell, Crikey Riley. Hold on a minute. There's a name I haven't seen for a long, long time bursting into the chat to completely take over the stream. Hi, Jack. How you doing, sir? Hope Paul as well. And you've had a great weekend and a great week. Cheers to you, Jack. I'm going to wash this one down. Cheers. Yeah, beery Bend. Indeed, absolutely. Echo those sentiments. The long lost, well, not lost, you've never found, the long lost Jack Howard, Suffolk Viking, just popping in. Right, so I've gone down the ABV on that one. I've gone down to 5.5. I'm going to go back up now for beer number 3, please. Beer number 3. Again, I'm not sure about the fruit content on this, but it's definitely a fruit. Half of it, anyway. A Banoffee. It's called Banoffee. Oh fuck! I didn't look at the fucking can. Do remind me. We'll come back to that one in a minute. Let's get this into the glass and see. It just says Banoffee, and it just said Banoffee Pie. Yeah, Banoffee Pie Pastry Stout. I missed a bit that said pie. What should we use for Yonder? We shall use. Yeah, we'll use the regular glass. Oh, crikey. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember where Yonder are. You'll either remind me or I'll look it up in a minute because I've got the website queued up. Don't think I cleaned that glass as well as I thought I had, so let's put it in a McColl's glass of the same shape. Pours out with medium thickness, good head development. It's got a slight thinness on the back end. On the edge there. But pours out pretty well into the glass with some decent head development. And as we shall go straight in with the photograph, as always. See, this will take as long over this one. Let's just get the photograph done and get into this because I'm kind of looking forward to this, mostly after last week's Banoffee Pie Stout. More about that in a sec, if you didn't see it. I'm under no illusions, though. I don't think. Again, I haven't read the back of the can to see if there's any pouring instructions, but it doesn't look as thick and gloopy as last week's Banoffee Pie Stout, because that was a smoothie stout. We'll put the thing up the link for last week's stream where you can see that. But that one was a very special beer. I did spend some time trying to find another can. I only find one, and I didn't quite get around to pulling the trigger because I couldn't find anything else I particularly wanted from that bottle shop. So we'll see what happens with that. See if I can get that Boots Void in the background on this one. Yes, and I know, Jack, I know I'm too picky. And then eventually I'll just go sod it, that'll do, that's close enough. Let's plug the phone in so we don't lose everything. I think I've got enough battery on that though. Which reminds me, laptop's plugged in. Yep, good. Right, yeah, so I'm I got this one beforehand though, I think. Yeah, I got this one before I tried that other Banoffee Pie. That's what I'm talking about. The Gravity Well Boots Void was a quite frankly phenomenal Banoffee Pie chocolate stout. For those who didn't see the stream, the link will be up there in the corner at some point, if it hasn't already come up. But yeah, absolutely thick and gloopy, like literally they'd liquidized a Banoffee Pie and added some extra creme fraiche and some more cream, and then some ice cream to boot. Yes. Paul, Emily, thanks for popping in. How you doing? Where's my beer? Thanks for popping in. We had a good evening. Completely missed your stream earlier because I was busy doing other things and stuff and then set up for this one. But yeah, I hope you're having a good one. And Jack's doing well, of course, always is. This looks a bit of me. Well, yeah, totally looks a bit of me, or that's what I thought. And now I look at it, and the head has dissipated, which makes me think. I mean, a big stout. It's only 7%, but it makes me think that it's going to be not as thick and gloopy as I want it. Not as smooth. I want that nice creamy head to stick around, be in good condition, and help with the drinking of the beer. I can leave that, read the can. Right, so yeah, a Banoffee Pie pastry stout. Let's have a sniff. Let's clear the nasal passages first and then have a proper sniff. Well, that's cleared the nose, but I don't think it's cleared anything at all. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of roastiness, maltiness going on, but oh no, hang on, there we go. There's a bit of pastry in there. There's a little bit of pie in there. And yes, latterly, yeah, there comes the banana. And some other fruitiness a little bit. Yeah, so looking forward to this one. Let's give it a little swirl, get the head back a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. Can't show you it. I know you can see it. The head comes back with a little agitation, which, you know, just because the head is dissipated, that's a good sign, I think. Yeah, it's got a bit of body to it, got a bit of conditioning to it. Cheers, let's see what we get here. Oh. Okay, first thing. That sigh is that hit peak of expectation where you think this is going to be great. And then you've poured it out in a can and it looks not as thick and gloopy as I was hoping. And then on the first sip, you think, okay, not as thick as gloopy as I was hoping. There's a thinness to it, but the aroma helps. it's not really Coca-Cola thin, but there is that kind of element to it. I wouldn't call it smooth. There's that kind of the carbonation kind of gives it a slightly rough edge, which is a little worrying. Yonder is a brewery that I keep seeing, and they do some fairly big beers and some good-looking stuff. And I haven't been on their website for a while, but the last few times I did, it's one of those that got a lot of beers, pumping out a lot of good stuff, but I can't decide which ones not to get, so I don't end up spending 70, 80 quid, because I usually buy in pairs, especially if it's something that interests me. And I'm like, I just can't keep rushing out and buying this stuff. On the face of it, with this one, I'm like, you can't judge a brewery by one beer. But yeah, that sort of, I want my stout smoother and sweeter. This one isn't. That's not to say, it makes it a bad stout if it isn't. It doesn't have to be smooth and that, but yeah. So basically, Gravity Well have ruined other breweries for Banoffee Pie stouts, because that was just so nice, so smooth, completely mental in the smoothness. Like I say, it was like you could eat the head with a spoon. It was so thick, voluptuous, and also smooth, but also a nice balanced flavor profile with a little bit of kind of barrel-aged edge to it. So Gravity Well have completely ruined Yonder in that respect, because this hasn't got any of those qualities, really. It's got an interesting banana note to it. There's no banana spirit. There's a little bit of banana piff coming, a little bit of bitterness coming through there. It's a nice, as stouts go, it's got a nice roastiness to it. But it's kind of rough. It's got a rough edge, and not like a brown, like licking brown sugar kind of roughness, I always say. But yeah. Right, yes, read the can. Let me go back a quick bit and read the can on this one, because I forgot. Now, I do like Brew York. I'm never really look at their spider diagrams particularly, because it all looks a bit complicated, but I do like the way they do that. Give a good indication. It's one step away from sweetness. Mouthfeel doesn't really indicate what the scale of that is. Obviously, no hoppiness. Fruit, there's definitely the fruit in it, so that should be all the way up to the edge. Obviously, big on the malts, right? Let's see what they say. 5.5% cherry coconut. See, they bring chocolate into it on the back, but they said on the front. That's weird. Right, introducing the latest version of our beloved Tonkoko. Iconic Tonkoko cows return. What? Our iconic Tonkoko cows return. Don't know what the Tonkoko cows are. Surely the Tonkoko comes from the beans, not the cow's milk. Anyway, now enriched with a distinctive flavour of cherry, with a rich malt base and delicate vanilla sweetness. So delicate I can't pick it up. Cherry Tonkoko combines the classic taste of our original milk stout with the additional flavour of sweet cherry for an unforgettable experience. Well, for me, it's totally forgettable, I've got to be honest. No, that's unfair. I remember it for not having a great cherry flavour. Yeah, you see. Yeah, right. This is what bothers me. It does say coconut and cherries and vanilla in the flavourings. How much that is, I mean, if you just lob a handful of cherries in, pipette of vanilla, and then use the dreaded natural flavourings. The fuck are they? You've just listed 3 natural flavourings in cherry, vanilla, and coconut, and then you actually have to put natural flavouring. What the fuck? Best before 17th of November 2025. you see, what it means is, in some beers, I'm going to have to start looking for the label. And if I see natural flavorings, I'm probably not going to bother. But I don't want to look at the labels. I want to look at the labels, and all three beers are pretty good labels in that. As I always say, brewery name, logo, beer name, beer style, any other information, percentage. Great. So I'm looking at cherry Tonkoko, but now I'm going to have to look for these natural flavoring bullshit. I'm just, yeah. I usually enjoy the Yonder smoothie style. It's not a smoothie. It's a pastry stout. But there's nowhere near smoothie going on for me. Just cooked up some kebabs. Fair play. Well, you're not sober anymore. You've had that beer, so that's acceptable. Yeah. My boss had a kebab pie on the way home from the northeast the other day. Which sounds fun. I would give that a go as well. But I can actually only imagine a kebab when I'm pissed. I only ever once had a kebab when I was sober. I was at college. It was in Watford. And it's perfectly pleasant, actually. It's fine, but I'm used to just having kebabs pissed. Cheeky kebab. Right. Yeah. Really nice, dark, roasty bitterness going on there. From the dark malts and stuff like that. Let's have a look, see what they say. Howdy kebabs for the win. Right. I need to check out Yonder a bit more, I guess. Oh, God. You're not going to believe this. And this surprises me, right? Okay, well, let's get on to that in a second. Let's read it from the top, right? Banoffee Pie is a dessert lover's dream. Yeah, if you like banana, I do. I like Banoffee Pie, it's good. We've taken the irresistible flavors of sweet banana, rich caramel. Caramel is not a flavor that's jumped out to me there. Whipped cream and crumbly biscuit, and blended them into this luxurious pastry stout. At no point have I said biscuit, have I? This is not luxurious. Sip and savor the dessert experience, no fork required. See, the gravity well, I literally could have eaten with a fork. Not just the head, that bit as well. The dark stout, I could have. It felt like it. Maybe I'm romanticizing that because it was so creamy. But anyway. Oh, yes, of course. Produced in the UK by Yonder Brewing in Radstock in Somerset. I'm going to move on. Sea base of can. For the best before 24th for the 3rd, 2026. Yes, we've got a stream of in-date beers, an entire stream. I'm not particularly proud of that. I'm happy drinking nominally out-of-date beers. Right, yeah, 7%. But the thing that just briefly caught my eye as I moved the magnifying glass over. Okay, I'm going to read the full contents and see if you can see what my issue is. It's not difficult, you're all smart folks. Barley, wheat, oats, lactose, natural flavor, yeast and hops. Natural flavor. All the other ingredients on there are natural flavors. I'm not even a little surprised. I'm smacked around the face with the surprise gun to find that they've put natural flavors. Which ones are the natural flavors? What is the natural flavor? Like, I mean, I'm not expecting to see banana on that list. Don't get me wrong. I know where the banana is probably coming from. I'm guessing it's the yeast. Some breweries do put banana in a banana lead beer, be it Banoffee Pie or what else. You don't see banana too often as an ingredient or as a beer style. We know Hefeweizens have that kind of banana-y flavour, so I'm guessing there's maybe a bit of Hefeweizen yeast, perhaps. Or maybe it's just, maybe they've bunged a bunch of foam bananas in. I doubt it. Maybe they've just put a little vial of banana-y flavoured. See, natural flavourings. I was about to say maybe they've just put a little vial of banana-y type chemicals in, but that wouldn't be natural. Yeah, I have a massive problem with this. This natural flavourings bollocks. I don't do beer rants often because I want to support breweries and I want to say nice and happy and fluffy things. But when I see terms like natural flavourings, when I see natural flavourings, I'm just thinking that there'll be some kind of rough edges going on. Just some kind of burr, a little bit of bitterness. Let me just check because I can't actually remember. Right, so this I raved about so much that I haven't thought of all the words collated together to do the written review on Instagram yet. I was going to do it today and ran out of time. That might go up tomorrow. I'm going to have to go and look back exactly what I said. Yes, right. My point was the ingredients list. Oh no, they don't. They list the allergens. Okay, all right. They don't have an ingredients list on this. They list allergens, but not ingredients. That's weird. I thought they had to. My point was going to be this won't say natural flavorings. That's weird. See, I've just gone skeptical. I think maybe there is, but I don't think there was natural flavorings in that. That was just all about whatever they put in it. But don't actually give an ingredients list. I'm not sure. It's a vial of liquid that identifies as Banoffee. That's what I was trying not to say. But yeah. How do you do some good, cool stuff for good value? Yeah, for sure. They do some random stuff that you wouldn't necessarily don't like. See, I think Audi, you see a different sort of variety, just some more weird stuff that you wouldn't necessarily expect, and food wise, Tesco and the other supermarkets are a bit more kind of mainstream. Yeah, identifies, but see the toffee. The toffee's a malt thing. You don't need to put toffee in there, but yeah. So I'm a little bit disappointed with this one, probably because in my head I'm sort of balancing it against that Gravity Well, because they don't list ingredients. I can't guarantee there isn't natural flavourings in it, but I don't think there is. I'm fairly certain because that was just superb. Anything, every time I've mentioned natural flavourings, and I've only really started doing it recently, it's been just not that great, really. It's not a bad stout. And if you can make not a bad stout, why do you need natural flavourings, whatever the F they are? Right, so yeah, that's my little rant. Fuck natural flavourings. Just flavour it with natural flavours or natural things. Yeah, sorry, my nose is itching. That's not good. I hate that. Right, yeah, so don't like natural flavourings. I feel a bit meh about all the beers tonight in different reasons and different ways. The most drinkable seems to have been the IPA, which is a tad annoying. If I hadn't read natural flavourings on that, I'd be like, well, it's all right. If I can get the natural flavourings out of my head, it's definitely nice dark roasty malt thing going on. The banana flavour is there. But it doesn't, for me, emulate a Banoffee Pie. When I eat a Banoffee Pie, I've got cream, chocolate, banana, biscuity flavour going on. All I've got in this is kind of dark roasty malts. And it just, yeah, it's not this unbalance. It's just, I don't know. You've got to search hard for that toffee. The banana is there because that's actually quite a strong flavour banana. It does override everything else. Certainly in a beer a little bit. Just seen, I mean, that head retention is actually staying. I've just noticed. Every time you give it a little nudge, it gets back. There's a lot of alcohol lacing, a lot of alcohol legs going there. So it's possibly not as bad. If I think about it, I can see the biscuitiness. I kind of, maybe that's the brown sugar roughness going on. There is kind of brown sugar digestive notes on the outers. There is kind of a bit of toffee, a lot of chocolate, and that kind of dark roasty kindness going on. But yeah, another one that gets better, oddly. I've said that about all three of them. As it goes, initially I'm like, oh, don't know about that, and as it goes down, it's got better. Sort of wafery biscuit, sort of digestive and brown sugar kindness going on. It is there, but it was only there once I calmed down about the natural flavourings thing and thought about it. Yeah, a little bit of roughness. Banana's gone a little bit now as well. Yeah. No instructions on the can to say shake it, roll it, or whatever, get all the flavours going, like there was on that Gravity Well. Yeah, it's not like you've taken a Banoffee Pie and blended it. That, I said, was like taking a Banoffee Pie, blending in it, and adding a shot of Bailey's or any other Irish cream liqueur. Well, the Irish cream liqueur that I had with it, the Ballycastle one. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Let's have a little look. See what else I've got. See if I can demonstrate my point. Well, I haven't. This is arguably, as far as I remember, the first Yonder beer I've gone, right, I'll get that. It's only because I was making up an order, but see, I always assume they do big beers, but that was a Radler in there. But I always look in the shop just to see what it is. That Raspberry Ghost I've seen around and never quite thought about it. Free shipping on a mega bundle. Let's have a look. What's in the mega bundle? Rocky Road Pastry Stout. See, I'm not sure about their pastry stouts now. Because the Banoffee Pie is in that. A lot of ice cream stuff going on. They do an IPA. I thought it was all sours and stouts, but sort of challenging Vault City. What the fuck is that? Mango matcha latte. That's three flavours that don't make any sense. Not a fan of matcha. I don't want to like matcha. So fruit, tea, and coffee. That makes no sense. I'd try it, mind. 50 quid for it's a 50 quid gamble for 12 cans of that. Don't know about that. Right, let's see. Let's have a look at the rest of it. A boosh. You know what that is. See, they do some kind of regular beers as well. That lemon drizzle pastry sour, I've seen that, and that looks interesting because I do like my lemons on my sours. What? Oh, okay. Mango and coconut sour ale. No need, not sure about that. Gooseberry and elderflower. Watermelon. See, are they going? Lot of they're screaming natural flavourings to me now. So now, what do we reckon about this? Berry Biscoff cheesecake, Rocky Road, and that slightly cartoon font is kind of putting me off a little bit. Sticky toffee pudding, always a difficult one. Peanut butter and jelly. See, key lime pie. I've seen a lot of key lime pie beers around. Coconut key lime pie. I like lime and citrus, so I'd be interested. But yeah, I'm just sort of like Eaton Mess. Love an Eaton Mess beer, but not an Eaton Mess sour. Pineapple and grapefruit crush, like alcoholic lilt. So yeah, it's just like, oh, I don't know now. I'm really not sure. Paul says the same. I'm not sure I've ever had a dark beer from Yonder now. I think really had the Hellers and a few of their sours. I just assumed it was sours and stouts. I didn't know they had some kind of regular beers. So I'm sort of not sure now. It's put me off a little bit. I know you shouldn't judge, but it sort of put me off a little bit. It's suddenly that font, that cartoonish font, suddenly strikes natural flavourings kind of concern in my head. So I don't know. I've seen a lot of good sounding Yonder beers, and I thought it was all good, gloopy, smooth stouts. And now I've had this. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I will let you guys make up your own mind. Do tell me if I've completely got off on the wrong foot with Yonder. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. Oh well, there you go. It has, as somebody said earlier, I think it was Henry, an interesting selection. You always take that gamble with fruit beers. There's a lot of people that won't touch fruit beers. I will because I think it's different. I think it's interesting. Certainly in an IPA, it brings a different dimension to the different flavour dimension. Fruited stouts can be difficult. Like we've seen, I want to love a cherry stout. I want to love a cherry beer. But it's so easy to go tart and sour cherry. I want a sweet cherry. I love a glacier cherry. That's what I'm saying. Sweet cherry. Black cherry, dark cherries. Love it. Sweetness on a cherry. Cherry's one of them fruits. Goes either way. Sweet or tart. Banana. Don't see too much actual bananas in beers. And I wanted it to be better. And I'm, again, ruined by last week's Banoffee Pie smoothie stout from Gravity Well. So I'm not going to mark Yonder down on this one. I'm not going to mark any of these down because they're all good breweries doing good stuff. So I'll try all these breweries again quite happily at some point. A black cherry soda. Yeah. I did think, like I said, about doing a soda with the cherries from the tree, but because they're so kind of bitter and a bit tart, you would need a lot of sugar to kind of balance that out and still get the cherry flavour. But yeah, black cherries, I'm all about. I'm all over it. Well, there you go. For me, that's Monday Club done. It's been a bit of a struggle, but I've got through them, and I didn't think I would struggle. That's my main thing. I thought I'd like all of these, and they all brought some different challenges. That's the thing with live beer reviews, though, isn't it? You never really know quite what you're going to get. It's always a bit of a surprise. Positively or negatively, it was a bit of a letdown. But yeah, thanks to you guys for popping in, especially Mr. Wilson, for the weekend and the beers. Good stuff. Good to see you. See you again soon. Shark, thank you very much indeed. All at the hashtag arms. Yeah, no, thanks for everybody. You've been brilliant. Henry, as ever, thanks for the support and the getting everybody to like and subscribe. And if you're watching this after the event, there's a button down there specifically for that. It's about here somewhere. There it is. Don't know what I'm doing for the rest of the week because I'm in work tomorrow. Rarely on a Tuesday, but we got a bit busy. Things are happening. Got to do some brews for festivals coming up. So if I try and get one, it might be Wednesday or Thursday now. If not, have a good week. Enjoy the beers. And yeah, as I always say, cheers and enjoy the beers. I will finish that. It's not that bad, but it's just, yeah. Right, yeah, let's do the outro. Yeah. Cheers. Enjoy the beers. Have a great week and see you again soon. I'm in Disco. Live beer reviews from what I'm still madly calling the Disco Arms. Have a good one.